the law of sines. So first we would like to recall that the sum of all angles in a triangle is 180 degrees, and to solve a triangle means to find lengths of all sides and measures of all angles. And now we would like to consider any triangle with sides ABC and opposite angles angle A, angle B and C respectively. That means angle A is opposite A, angle B is opposite B, and so on. So if I consider a triangle, any triangle with sides A, B and C, and sides vertices angle ABC, side A is opposite A, side B is opposite B, and side C is opposite C. And then if I draw a height or altitude to the base, I'm gonna call it height. So then we have two right triangles. This is my one triangle. I call it D. I will call the D. So from triangle ADC, I can solve for angle A. Regarding the angle A, I have height is opposite over hypotenuse. Opposite over hypotenuse. Opposite over hypotenuse is my sine. So sine angle A is opposite h over hypotenuse B. That's my red triangle. Okay, so from this red triangle we have this. And as we did before, sine A is like over 1. I can cross multiply. So 1 times h is equal to B times sine A. And now I consider the other triangle. I consider this triangle. Okay, my blue triangle. And I would do regarding this angle B. So now we have from triangle CDB, we have regarding B, this side is opposite over hypotenuse. This is my right angle. Opposite over hypotenuse. So we have sine angle B is opposite over hypotenuse of my A. And this one is over 1. So we can cross multiply. So I have that h is equal to A times sine B. A times sine B. And now look, notice that my h and h, that's the same h, that's the same height. So we can equal those two. Equating the h and equating the h gives me B times sine A is equal to A times sine B. Okay? Equating those two. Equating those two, we get B times sine A is equal to A times sine B. And now I would like to divide by A, and divide by B. So I'm going to divide both sides, divide by AB, divide by AB. divide both sides by AB. Then the B and B cancel out, and A cancel out. So what I'm left with is sine A over A is equal to sine B over B. And that's part of sine law, of sine. Notice that this is for any triangle, does not need to be right triangle. So the law of sines says for any triangle with sides ABC and opposite angles ABC, the ratio sine A, we have A, B, C, and side A, B, and C. Sine A over A is equal to sine B over B, and this would be equal sine C over C. If we draw the height to the other side, we can get the ratio sine C over C. So in other words, that's the law of sines. In other words, we can choose any ratio that we need, and this would be true. We can choose only the first part. Sine A over A is equal to sine B over B, or we can choose the second part, that sine B over B is equal to sine C over C, or we can choose those two. Sine A over A is equal to sine C over C. This is all true. And that's called the sine law, the law of sines. And this is for any triangle. An equivalent form of sine law is when we would flip this over, each and every one. So if we would flip each and every one, that would be A over sine A is equal to B over sine B is equal to C over sine C. This would be equivalent form. You can check this if you cross multiply and then divide by the sine A, you get the equivalent form. Now, we use the law of sines if we know one side and two angles, or if we know two sides and the opposite angle. Now we have example 1. Example 1. Solve each triangle. And we have any triangle with angles ABC and with sides opposite to those angles ABC. And what we have side C is 4, angle C is 80 degrees, and then angle B is 35 degrees. So using the law of sines, we have sine C over C is equal to sine B over B by the law of sines. So we have sine C over C is equal to sine B over B. You can only use the ratio that you have one unknown. If we had used sine A over A, we don't know A, and we don't know the angle A, and we don't know the side A. So first we can use this one, we have only one unknown. So now I can substitute sine 80 degrees over 4 is equal to sine 35 degrees over B. And now I can cross multiply. So this would be B times sine 80 degree is equal to 4 times sine 30 degree, and we can divide by sine 80, divide by sine 80, so this and this cancel out, so B is approximately equal. If you punch this on calculator, make sure you are in degree mode, and you do need to put this in the bracket and divide by this. So we have 4 times sine 30 degree divided by sine 80 degree. And that gives me 2.03. .0308 and so on. So B is approximately, this gives me approximately 2.03. Okay, now we can find angle A. We can find angle A using the sum of angles. So angle A is 180 minus those two. So we have angle A is 180 minus 35 minus 80 degree. So angle A is, gives me 65 degree. So this angle is 65 degree. And now we can use another ratio from sine law. We're gonna use sine, this what was given, and then A with angle A. So we have sine C over C is equal to sine A over A. You can use with B, but if you make mistake on B, you automatically has mistake on A as well. But those data is given, so it is beneficial to keep using the given data. So sine C, sine 80 degree over C, which is 4, is equal to sine 65 degree over A, which we need to find. Okay, now we can cross multiply. So A times sine 80 degree is equal to 4 times sine 65 degree. I can divide by sine 80. Divide by sine 80. This cancel out. So my A is approximately equal to, when you punch on calculator, make sure you put this bracket. So we have 4 times sine 65 divided by sine 80. And that gives me 3.681. 3.681. So A is approximately 3.68. If you use the calculator, you would have, depends on the calculator, you have bracket from 65 and this bracket. So here we do need to have double bracket. Example B. Example B, we need to solve the triangle as well. This time we have given angle A 65 degree, angle B is 30 degree, and side C is 5. So in order to use sine law, we have sine A over A is equal to sine C. We do need to have the angle, because otherwise we would have too many unknowns. We cannot use sine A over sine B over B, because we don't know A and B. We can only have one and only one unknown. But angle C, we are using the sum of angles. So angle C is equal to 180 degree minus 30 and minus 65. So that gives me 85 degree. Angle C is 85 degree. Okay, so now we can use the ratio. We can use the sine law ratio. We can go with sine C over C is equal to sine A over A. Sine C is sine 85 degree over 5 is equal to sine 65 degree over A. We can cross multiply this. A times sine 85 is equal to 5 times sine 65. Divide by sine 85. Divide by sine 85. This cancel out. Make sure you put bracket and make sure you are in degree mode. So the A value is approximately 4.5. It's 4.5488 something. So this gives me to 2 decimal places. 4.55. We do need to increase the digit because next one is more than 5. So that's my A side. That's my angle C. And now we can use similar ratio using the sine law, using the B. So I'm gonna use the C as well. Sine C over C is equal to sine B over B. So we have sine C, sine 85 degree over 5 is equal to sine B, sine 30 degree over B. 30 degree is 1/2. But we can cross multiply as before. B times sine 85 degree is equal to 5 times sine 30 degree. Divide by sine 85. Divide by sine 85 degree. This cancel out. So B is approximately equal to, we have 5 times sine 30 divided by sine 85. That gives me 2.509, 2.5095, which is approximately 2.51. 2.51. Example C. Example C, we have given measure of angles and we need to draw our own triangle. So as before, we draw triangle. We draw triangle A, B, C, and we have side A, B, and C. So now we have given angles B is 20 degree and A is 30 degree and A is 2. So we can use the first ratio. We can use the ratio sine A over A is equal to sine B over B. And then we can solve for angle C to find this one. So using the sine law, sine A over A is equal to sine B over B. Sine A is 30 degree, so sine 30 degree over 2 is equal to sine 20 degree over B. Cross multiply, so B times sine 30 degree is equal to 2 times sine 20 degree, divide by sine 30, you can substitute sine 30 is 1/2. So then B is equal to approximately, make sure you put those brackets, 2 times sine 20 divided by sine 30. And that gives me approximately 1.36368. So this is approximately 1.37. We usually round to 2 decimal places. Okay, and now we need to find the angle C first. So angle C, we're gonna use that the sum of angle is 180 degree. So it's 180 minus 30 and minus 20. So sine C is approximately 180 minus 30 minus 20 gives me 130 degree. Okay, so now we can use the ratio with sine C, and I'm gonna use what is given. So sine A over A is equal to sine C over C. So sine A over 2 is equal, A is 30 degree, sine 30 degree over 2 is equal to sine 130 degree over C. We can cross multiply. C times sine 30 degree is equal 2 times sine 130 degree. We can divide by sine 30. We can divide by sine 30. So this cancel out. So C approximately is, make sure you put the brackets and those for sine. So we have that 2 times sine 130 degree divided by sine 30 gives me 3.06. 3.064. So that's my side C. One more example. B. We have side B is 5, side C is 7, and angle B is 25. So we draw a triangle A, B, C, and a triangle. So A and opposite A is A, B, and C. So we have given that B is 5, C is 7, and angle B is 25. So using the data, we can use ratio sine B over B and sine C over C. So we're gonna use that sine B over B is equal to sine C over C. So sine B is 25 degree. So we have sine 25 degree over 5 is equal to sine C over 7. We can cross multiply. 5 times sine C is equal to 7 times sine 25 degree. Divide by 5. Divide by 5. So we have that sine C is equal to 7 times sine 25 over 5. But that's sine C. To get C, we do need to take the inverse, sine inverse. So C is sine inverse of what we have of this value. So we can punch on calculator this value. Make sure you put brackets. 7 times sine 25 divided by 5 gives me 0.59. 0.591666, and now I'm gonna use sine inverse of my answer, and then I'm getting that the angle C is approximately 36.27, so I'm gonna keep it to the whole degree, which gives me approximately 36 degree. And now we can, so we have angle C. Angle C. Now we can find angle A. Angle A is 180 degree minus those two angles. Angle B is 25. Angle C is 36. So the angle A will be approximate value 180 minus 25 minus 36. This gives me 119 angle A. So now we can use the sine ratio using B and A. So we have that sine B over B is equal to sine A over A. Okay, so sine B, we have sine 25 over 5 is equal to sine 119 over A. We can cross multiply. A times sine 25 degree is equal to 5 times sine 119. Divide by sine 25. So my A is approximately, make sure you put brackets when you punch this. You do need to put the brackets. So when we punch this on calculator, 5 times sine 119 divided by sine 25 gives me 10.347. 10.3476, so this is approximately 10.35, so that's my A. Should be angle C. And now we have example 2. An aircraft is spotted by 2 observers who are 600 feet apart. Each observer takes a sight of the angle of elevation of 20 degree and 30 degree respectively. How high is the airplane? So we have an airplane. We have an airplane, and we have two observers, observer 1 and observer 2, and they are 600 feet apart. And to the airplane they take a side of angles, so 20 degree and 30 degree angle, and they ask us to find the height. How high is the airplane? So we are looking for this height. Okay, so now we have right angle right here. So in order to find that height, first we need to find one of those sides, either this or this, and then we can use the right triangle. So we want to use sine law, so sine of this, we do need to find that angle between them. So I'm gonna call it A, B, and C. Opposite A is A, opposite B is B, and this is my C. So angle A is nothing else the sum of angles. So it's 180 degree minus 20 and minus 30. So angle A gives me 130 degree. Okay, so now we can use the sine law. So this is not angle A, I'm sorry, this is angle C. This is my angle C. This is my angle C, because angle A is 20 degree. This is my angle C. Okay, this is my angle C. This is my angle C. Okay, so now we can use the sine law. Sine C over C is equal to, let's solve for B, sine B over B. So we have that sine 130 degree over 600 feet is equal to sine 30 degree over my B. Okay, so we can cross multiply. So B times sine 130 degree is equal to 600 times sine 30. 600 times sine 30. So divide by sine 130 degree. Divide by sine 130 degree. This cancel out. So B is approximately equal to, make sure you put the brackets. So we have 600 times sine 30 degree divided by sine 130 degree. So this side is approximately 391.622. Okay, so now we have this side 391.622. We can find the height using the right triangle. We have opposite to this angle, and then we have hypotenuse, which is 391. So opposite over hypotenuse is sine 20 degree. We can only use the trigonometric ratio in a right triangle. Sine law is for any triangle. Its opposite height over b, my b is 391.622. Cross multiply, it's like over 1. This times this is height is equal to 391.622 times sine 20. So my height is approximately equal to 133.942. 133.9. Okay, so how high is the airplane? The airplane is 133 feet above them.